Well friends, now we are going to do semi-models or quasi-models. Quasi means semi. Okay, why we call these models as semi or quasi is it does half the work of the model and half the work of a finite verb. So we call it the semi-models. And what are the four? I think I've already discussed with you: ought to, used to, need and dare. Okay. Now we are going to do that in detail. I already explained to you what the primary verbs are, what the models are, and now we are going to see models were also called as auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary means aiding or supporting verbs. Now we are going to see the semi or quasi models. Okay, we'll start with ought to, and we'll do it in detail and then move on to used to. Semi models, and the first one that we are going to do is ought to. Ought to is used as a duty or obligation. Duty come obligation. Now let's see some examples. The first usage is when we have a duty. That is when we say you should do that. Instead of that, we can also use it as you ought to do that. Okay. So when we, if you see the should rules, wherever we had should, you should obey your parents, you should not violate rules, you should respect your elders. Same way, we can use this semi model or semi quasi model in that place. Wherever we use should, you ought to obey rules, you ought to respect your parents, you ought to do this, you ought to do that. So we can use it as a duty. Examples are: you ought to respect your motherland. How many of you love your motherland? India. India is such a bewitching country. It is unity in diversity, and everybody should be proud of it, isn't it? So, you ought to respect your motherland. I can even say we ought to respect our motherland. You can change this to we and our. Okay. Next one. Same way, ought can be used with a not also. You ought not use fatty food. You ought not use fatty food. That is, you should not. Instead of should, we are using ought. Because sometimes they will say fill in the blanks with semi-models. So, there you should not fill this with should. You should fill it up only with ought, because ought is a semi-model. So, according to the question you have to answer. Okay? You ought not use fatty food. Next one. You ought to your hands before eating. Before eating. You ought to wash your hands before eating. Next one. We'll just go on to the next rule. To be plus infinitive. That's the third rule. Second one is ought to plus have. Example, first one, you ought to have a health drink every day. You ought to have a health drink every day. Now, you ought to plus have we have in this model. Okay, you ought to plus have. Here, just ought to, ought not, or here, ought to. Do you understand this? You ought to wash your hands before eating. Okay, next one. Next example for this is, you ought to have served your you ought to have finished your homework. You ought to have finished your homework. You ought to have a health drink every day. So, ought to plus have, we have these two examples. I hope you understand. So, the first is used as a duty. You ought to respect your motherland. You ought not use fatty food. All these are duties you have to obey. You ought to wash your hands before eating. All these are rules. And here we have ought to plus have. You ought to have a health drink every day. You ought to have finished your homework. All these are obligations. Okay, we'll go on to the next rule. To express plan. To express a plan, we have I ought to have, or I ought to make a speech tomorrow. I ought to make a speech tomorrow. That's your plan, or that's my plan. I ought to make a speech tomorrow. I ought to tidy my room before the maid comes. So, you just plan out something, isn't it? So, this is one of the sentences, and the next one we'll see. I ought to leave for America next week. I ought to leave for America next week. So you're just planning all this, all your plans, okay? You're just planning all these, and this is how we use ought to. First one, it's used as a duty or obligation. That is, you ought to respect your motherland is your duty, and you ought not use fatty food, and or you ought not to use fatty food. We can also add here to, or you need not, it's not very essential. You ought not, to here. You ought not to use fatty food. You can use to, or you can leave it. You ought to wash your hands before eating or before meals. Next rule, ought to plus have. You ought to have a health drink every day to keep yourself healthy in this monotonous drudgery. We always have to keep our body healthy. So you ought to have a health drink every day. Next one, you ought to have finished your homework. You ought to have. What are you doing? What have you been doing? You ought to have finished your homework. That's what the teacher says when you have not finished your homework. Okay, next one. To express a plan or an idea that you've formulated in your mind and you want to carry it on. I ought to make a speech tomorrow. I ought to leave for America next week. So this is your plan. Next week you're planning to leave for America, or maybe after marriage you're planning to leave for America, or here you plan to make a speech the next day at some place. All these are your plans. So to express a plan, you use ought to. So we saw here 3 places you can use ought to, and the first one, duty, you can use it instead of should. Okay, should also denotes duty, should or must. We can see, you can just take away this ought to and use you must respect your motherland, you should respect your motherland, you should not use fatty food, or you must not use fatty food. So when you are asked to use only semi-modal, then you have to use ought to in such places. Okay? But we use these semi-modals to give more force to it. You ought to do that. Okay? When we use ought to, we give more emphasis onto the duty of it, the order of it. Okay, we will move on to the next one now. Next we are going to see used to. I told you there are 4 semi-modals or quasi-modals. Quasi is semi, and the second one is used to. First we saw ought to, now used to. Rule number 1 or usage number 1 for habitual actions. Okay, like for some habitual action, like I am used to sleeping early. I am used to sleeping early. So this is a habitual action. So if you I am used to sleeping early. Sometimes if you go and visit a person who is used to sleeping early, they may not like to entertain you. So, that is what we talk about habitual actions here. Some people are used to getting up very early. There are some students who are used to studying during the night time. Some have the habit of studying during the daytime. They cannot study, that is early morning time. So, if a parent tells a child who is used to studying in the night to get up early and study, he may not be able to do so. Or if a person who sits throughout the morning hours and sleeps very early and all, the parent may say, why are you sleeping so early? Why don't you sit and study for your exam? So, these are all habitual actions and we use used to. Used to is for habitual action and habits can never be changed. Next one. He is used to traveling by car or traveling by car. Some people do not like to go by flight or some people do not like to go by train, on the rail or by flight, by air. They are only used to traveling by on road travel. So, such people, it's their habit, they are comfortable that way. So, this is another habitual action. One more I will give you. He is used to drinking coffee or drinking tea in the evenings. He is used to drinking tea in the evenings. So, this is another habitual action. We always say tea time. That is why we have this tea for the evening. Many people have tea for the evening because it's always called the tea time. And they cannot have, if you force them to drink coffee in the evening or tea in the morning, they may not like it. So, these are all habitual actions and we should abide by their habits. Okay? So, used to is used for denoting habitual actions. Okay, what else can we think of? He is or she is used to writing by her or with her left hand. Some people are left-handed. So, if you ask them to write only by their right hand, they may not be able to do so. It is their habit. Okay? So, some are used to wearing saris, whereas some are used to wearing salwars. Some are used to wearing gowns. So, whatever they are comfortable with, whatever their habits are, we have to love them to do that. Next one, for discontinued actions. First one, he was used to traveling by bus. When I say he was used to traveling by bus, I say he was, that was the past. Now he is not. Okay, so this is a discontinued habit. Now he no longer travels by bus. He only travels by car. Okay, that's why I've used the past tense here, and he was used to traveling by bus. Okay, one more sentence I'll give you. She was used to wearing saris. She was used to wearing saris, but she has discontinued that habit, and now maybe she uses, she wears jeans after going to America. Maybe I'll just give you an example like that. She was used to wearing saris before going to America. Before going to America. She was used to wearing saris before going to America. Now she has discontinued that habit. She's used to wearing something else. Excuse me. She was used to wearing saris before going to America, but now she is wearing only jeans and t-shirts or jerkins. She is used to wearing short gowns, whatever they expect her to do. So these are discontinued actions. Okay, maybe I can give you one more sentence to make things clear. I am not, just say, I was not used to computers for a long time. Here I am using not used to. I was not used to computers for a long time, but now I am. Okay, that habit of not being used to computers is done away with. That habit is discontinued. I was not used to computers for a long time, but now I have learned how to use it. Okay, that's what it means for discontinued actions. Next one, they were not used to eating with chopsticks. Eating with chopsticks. Till they visited China. They were not used to eating with chopsticks till they visited China. That is, chopsticks are two thin stick-like thing which they place it between their fingers while eating. Instead of using a spoon or a fork, they use a pair of chopsticks. Okay, this is very common in China, Japan, mainly Japan. Japan is the main place that uses chopsticks. Now it's caught on, this tradition is caught on to Malaysia, Singapore also. Okay, I'll maybe change it to Japan because Japanese are the ones who brought out this habit. So Here we see they were not used to eating with chopsticks till they visited Japan. So, till then their habit was like not knowing how to use a pair of chopsticks, and that is discontinued and they have learned to use chopsticks. Okay. Next one. The children were used to talking in the class when there is no teacher. The children were used to talking in the class when there is no teacher. If the teacher is not in the class, the children always kept talking earlier. But now that habit has changed. That habit is discontinued. Okay, maybe they've got a very strict teacher now, and so they have stopped that habit of talking in the class. The boys were in the habit of smoking the boys were in the habit of smoking, but now they have discontinued that habit. Smoking and drinking, shall I write? Okay, there is always a time to change. Why should a person not smoke and drink? Because it's very harmful for your health. If you see the statutory warning, they say smoking is injurious to health, drinking spoils families, drinking spoils your liver, your health, everything. So, in spite of all these warnings, people do bad things. But now people are changing. So, the boys were in the habit of smoking and drinking, whereas they have discontinued that habit. Okay. So, all this way, if you say were in the habit of smoking and drinking, that means in the past. Now they have stopped that habit. Okay. I'm sorry, here the boys were used to. I haven't used the word boys used to. The boys used to have the habit of smoking and drinking. Now they have discontinued it. So let's see where all we have used to here. Let's quickly have a recap. Let's see how we have used these sentences. I am used, that is first order is for habitual actions. Okay. What are the habitual actions? Something which a person has as a habit. I am used to sleeping early. That's a habit for that person. He is used to traveling by car. That is, he is more comfortable traveling by car than by any other means of transport. He is used to drinking tea in the evenings. He always drinks only tea and not coffee. Okay, these three are habitual actions. And the next point is for discontinued actions. First one we see here is he was used to traveling by bus. He was used to, he was. So when I use a past tense here, that denotes he had that habit or he was used to that habit, but not now. He was used to traveling by bus. Maybe now he's bought a car, so he started going by car and not by bus. Or the buses have become overpopulated or overcrowded, so he's using a car now. Okay, he was used to traveling by bus, so that denotes a discontinued action. She was used to wearing saris before going to America. So she had the habit of wearing only sari before she went to America, but after going there, she's changed. So she has discontinued that habit of wearing sari. I was not used to computers for a long time, but now I am. So that habit is discontinued. They were not used to eating with chopsticks till they visited Japan. So till they visited Japan, they didn't have that habit of using chopsticks. They were used only to spoons and forks. But now after visiting Japan, they have learnt a new habit. So they have discontinued the previous habit of eating with spoons and forks. They were not, okay, the children were used to talking in the class when there was no teacher. Okay, when there was no teacher. That is, earlier they were used to talking in the class when there was no teacher, but now they are very quiet. Maybe one teacher is telling the other. These children are used to talking. They were used to talking in the class when there was no teacher. If the teacher says they are used to talking in the class when there is no teacher, that action or habit continues. But the past tense we use here, they were used to talking in the class when there was no teacher. So earlier they had this habit, now they don't. They have changed it. That's what it means. The boys used to have the habit of smoking and drinking. They did have once, but now they have become very good boys. Without drinking and smoking, they survived. They have given away that bad habit. Okay? So we see here in detail the uses of used to, which is a semi-modal or quasi-modal. Okay, the next modal auxiliary or quasi-modal is going to be need. Okay, need at times can be used as a an ordinary verb, but mostly it is used as a quasi-modal. Okay, I'll just tell you the differences. Need. Need, here for example, we have that is, you need to do this, you need to do that. Here also certain what to say, orders and so certain commands we use this. But if I say, I need your book, there it comes as an ordinary verb. Okay, I need your pencil. Can you please give me your pencil? I need it. So there it comes just as an ordinary verb. Okay, let's see the uses now. He need not go there again. Here, need is used as an auxiliary. How do you know that? Because you have a main finite verb. This is the main verb or the finite verb go. Okay? So, need is used as an auxiliary verb. Whereas if I say, I need some water. Here there is no other verb. This is the main verb. It is used as the ordinary verb. Whereas here, he need not go there. Go is a verb, main verb, and need not, need is a quasi-modal. Do you understand? So, where you have a very major role of a verb there, that is, need is being used as a main verb. I need some water. I need that book. I need a pencil. So, need becomes an ordinary verb, whereas here it's used as an auxiliary, quasi-modal or semi-auxiliary, semi-modal auxiliary. Here we have the main verb go. Okay? Do you understand this now? So, I hope you understood. I will clean this sentence. This is just used as an ordinary verb and can also be used as a question. Need I speak to him about the matter or about the issue? Need I? Now, which is the main verb here? Speak is the main verb. So, need is used as the modal auxiliary. Okay, next one. He need not, or I just write they, because we are using, they need not go there again. They need not. Go is a main verb and need here is a semi-modal auxiliary. Next one. Robert need not call now. Call is a main verb and need is a modal auxiliary. He needs to work hard. Work is the main verb and needs is the semi-modal or semi-modal auxiliary. One more. They need not meet the chief guest after the meeting. Need and not. Meet is the main verb and need is still the auxiliary. So, this is rule number 1. Okay, rule number 1. He need not go there again. I just circle this. Okay, I will circle all the main verbs here for you to understand. Speak is the main verb. Go is the main verb. Call is the main verb. Work is the main verb. and meet is the main verb. Okay. Actually, sometimes he needs to work is understood as an ordinary verb because work hard. To work hard is an infinite, so sometimes it is this is taken as the ordinary verb. Okay, so I've given you 6 sentences and I'll go on to the next rule. The next one is need not plus have. This is just need and this is need not plus have. Examples: you need not have gone there. You need not have gone there before you were told. Okay, I have used need not plus have. One more example I'll give you. Rohit need not have called the police for such a small dispute. You know what a dispute is? A small fight. Just for an argument or so, we don't call a police to settle it, isn't it? So, the Rohit need not have called the police for such a small dispute. For just an ordinary argument between two people, we need not have called the police. That's what somebody is talking about, Rohit. Okay, shall we go through all the sentences now? These two are need not plus have. You need not have gone there. Which is the main verb? Gone is the main verb and called is the main verb. So that it's easier for you to identify the auxiliary verb need. Okay, there are 2 different classes of usages. Let's see now. The first one, he need not go there again. He need not go there again. So, go is the main verb, need is the auxiliary verb, a quasi-modal verb. Need I speak to him about the issue? Need is the auxiliary, semi-modal auxiliary, and speak is the main verb. Next one, they need not go there again. Here, need is the semi-modal, go is the main verb. Robert need not call now. Need is a semi-modal and call is the main verb. He needs to work hard. Needs is the semi-modal, work is the main verb, and next we have they need not meet the chief guest after the meeting. Here need is the semi-modal and meet is the main verb. Next rule is need not plus have. Okay, where we use have along with that. You need not have gone there before you were told. Need not plus have, and the main verb is gone. Next one, Rohit need not have called the police police for such a small dispute. Here, called is a main verb and need is the auxiliary. Rohit need not. So, need not plus have, need not plus have. So, do you understand now the usage of need? So, we have seen 3. Now, one more to go to make the 4 semi-modal or quasi-modal auxiliaries. After which, please listen to me carefully and be very attentive. I am going to give you a long test, checking all that you have learnt in models, whether you are thorough with that. Okay? So, just listen to it and try to apply that. One more to go. We will go on to the next.